Hello. Good morning. Let's see here. We have a participant on. No. Okay. And then let me just check here that I am on. There we go. Hopefully this works. Okay. Wow. Okay. We're talking about where pussy is opening in my body. I want to welcome you all to this second episode of Descend, which really is this experiment in creation, in bringing something that you love, that you desire, that can be tangible, and bringing that into the world using the principles of feminine leadership. And I will always say this, that it's not about your to-do list. It's really about who you're being and then going into your to-do list. And today we're going to talk about pussy. And Pussy decided she wanted to come talk to all of us today. So if you're here, say hi and just share, say hi and where you're from. And I get that this is on the webinar right now. And so we're generally, if you've sat in my programs before, we run all of Global Turn On training and development programs with the power of circle. So this is run as a circle. Descend is run as a circle. We're just doing these two first episodes as an experiment to see, like, hey, this is what we're up to. Do you want to join us in Descend for the next 11 weeks until October 27th, where you will bring a project that you love, that you care about, to the Global Turn On. It has to matter to you. Something that you love to do. It could be a circle. It could be your business. It could really be anything. So, and then we're going to birth it into the world with the power of pussy. It's going to be magical. Frickin' magical. And so Pussy wanted to come speak today. And I have to just tell you that when she comes to speak, I'm not always able to stay in my body. So I can feel the field right now, and it's big and it's wide and it's kind of like this powerful vortex. And so what I need your help with, and I'm getting hot. What I need your help with is just to start arriving here, arriving in your body. And I just want, like, I really get that there's a lot going on right now in the field, and it can feel like, oh my God, I don't have enough time for this. But I'll tell you right now, taking time for what you want to create in your life is essential in what you're up to. Like, period. You have to take this time. So if you're here for the next hour, that's you just sharing and like sharing your alignment with the universe, with spirit, with the unseen energies that are helping you create. You know, we as women, we are powerful, creative vortexes. And in this society, we are kept out of touch with our pussy. And you're going to hear me say pussy because she specifically wants me to use this term pussy. I'm reading some of the comments here. So pussy wants me to activate you. No longer are we going to sit in the shame and guilt or being told that our bodies are dirty. Our bodies are actually the main ingredient in our magic. And being able to harness and embody that magic, you need that, right? You need the time, you need embodiment, you need the space. You need community. So all of our programs here run in circle, and maybe we'll have some of you on if you're willing to join later after this transmission is done. So we have Elliot here and Kat here and San Leandro. We have Sarah here. We have Siobhan Pounders here. Okay. Hey, how's it going? Please tell me where you're from. And let me see if anyone's on Facebook Live. Doesn't look like it, but I will be watching out for you. Okay. So just beginning to breathe and arrive. And I want to show you, I'm going to start this out with just showing you a photo. Just beginning to arrive here and just noticing, like, as I'm speaking to you and as I'm talking about pussy, how does your pussy feel? Is she tense? Is she holding? Is she restricted? And see if you could just breathe down. We're going to breathe in through the nose. See how far you can send it down before you have to breathe out. That one I probably got to my lungs before I had to take an out breath. I want to show you a photo here. Let me get it ready. I just think this is so fascinating. You know, essentially what we are doing here in this program is bringing out your voice. And we work with, you know, because you have to talk about what you love, right? You have to talk about it, you have to share about it, you have to bring it out into the world, you have to be seen, you have to be okay with taking up space and being in front of people. Many of you here are coaches and facilitators, and a lot of people I know do not, like, are so scared of speaking in front of people, right? So that voice is blocked. And when it comes to the energetics of the body, we're starting with pussy and then we're making our way up. We're kind of going down first, because before the feminine can rise, first she must ascend and really enter a deconstruction zone. And please give me your feedback if something is resonating. Just let me know. Okay, but I'm going to show you this photo now. So, okay. This is a photo of your vocal cord. Right down in your throat. This is your vocal cord. Do you see that it looks like something specific? Yes, it looks like a pussy. All right, I'm going to stop sharing that. So, I want to just start to facilitate this connection between our pussy and our voice, our vocal cords. So go ahead. And I want you to just lean back, and as you're just continuing to arrive, there's essentially the way what our body needs to flow is to have a straight spine. So I want you just to bring some attention to the way that you're sitting. And rather than leaning back like I normally have you do, I want you to keep your spine up. Close your eyes. And we're going to begin to breathe. You want to, using your breath, you want to see if we can focus our breath all the way down into our genital area. Breathing in. And see if you can get it all the way down there. And exhale. Breathing in. Pulling the breath all the way down. And exhaling. Okay, this time we're going to inhale and we're going to exhale. We're going to make some sound. We're going to open up this channel by making some sound. So I want you to put one hand on pussy, on your genitals, and I want you to sound. We're going to sound with a Z sound. And I want you to feel that, like feel the vibration in your throat. Ready? Z. Again. We're going to begin to just open up your vocal cords and see if now, just tune in with pussy. How does pussy feel right now? She's opening up. All right, now I want you to just try a sound on your own, and I want you to start to rock your pelvis. You could either swing it in, like I like to say, like a bowl of chocolate pudding, like you're scraping the sides. Oh, pudding off the bowl, like you just made brownies. Or you can rock back and forth, whichever one feels better to you. So breathing in and making a sound that feels good to you. And go ahead and open your jaw. And you know, this may look totally weird, and I'm doing that on purpose so I can model that this is okay. You can be seen and look weird. You can be seen and look funny. Do it with me. Breathing in, rocking your pelvis. This time we're going to make an O sound, all right? And I want you to slow it down and really see if you can start to feel the sound vibrations of the O move down into your lungs, your heart. See how low you can get it, all right? Breathing in. Oh, and see what it takes. You might need to do this once or twice. And it's like in that, you're like letting go. And I can feel you. So some of us are still not past the heart yet. See if you can let it drop. Welcoming yourself into this space. You might notice you might need to let go of some stress that maybe you've been carrying around as you allow yourself to arrive here. On that exhale, really allowing yourself to let go. Really allowing yourself to go deep. And just close your eyes and give yourself a few moments to really be here. Whew. Okay, are we all here? Okay, good. I just want to check. I'm on this thing on Facebook. Just want to make sure. If people are watching, I can see their comments. So I'm going to do this. All right. All right. Do you see the difference? Like even I feel grounded in my body when I just take a couple moments to make that connection. You know, I wanted to talk to you today about pussy, but also this idea that pleasure is a technology. And there's really something there when it comes to the connection between our sexual power and our creativity, right? As a woman, we are creative beings. We have the fabric, we have that spark of creation that lives inside of us. So why not use that? Not just to make a baby, but to make the babies that you want to create in your life. Now, in order to be connected to yourself and to your sexual energy, you need to be in your body. You need to be connected to your breath, but you also have to be willing to experience pleasure. Now, we live in a time, so it's human nature to be wired for stress, for fight or flight. Because back in the caveman days, we had to think about and worry about and be on, we had to be on the lookout for dinosaurs or those things that were going to kill us, right? So we were programmed to be wired for the fight or flight in our nervous system, right? And that is in our primal brain. It's right back here in our primal brain. Go ahead and just put your hands there for a moment while I speak about this. So that's kind of an ancient primal part of us, is to be wired to handle stress. But now that we live in a modern day world, we live in the modern world, the idea that we always need to be on, we need to be like ready for the dinosaur, or ready to fight, or ready to run, we don't actually need that anymore. So we're an evolution of human beings is we are moving into the pleasure response, because no longer do we need to, I mean, I know that we need to experience stress. I forget the word that I'm looking for. Let me back up a little bit. So we are wired for the fight or flight, and that is a primal instinct. But as humans have evolved, we are now moving into the pleasure instinct. Pleasure is a major healer for women. And we can use pleasure to heal trauma and to guide us in our desires and what we want. So when we tune into pleasure instead of stress, we are allowing ourselves to evolve, allowing ourselves to move away from the stress response. Now, because our bodies are already wired for the stress response, that doesn't mean it's going to go away and then we're not going to know how to take care of ourselves if some crazy disaster happens. But the likelihood of a crazy disaster happening is very small. So why are we moving from scarcity and running from scarcity rather than pleasure, or that fear of pain rather than from pleasure? Good question, right? All right, I want to talk a little bit about science. And the next photo that I'm going to show you is a picture of I want to show you that in our human bodies, there's new science. They're doing a lot more science on a woman's genitals and the nerve connections, that how we're connected to our genitals in our brains. So, you know, I think it's something like the vagina has 80,000 nerve endings. It's kind of crazy how many nerve endings we have. And we also have sexual nerve responses in our vagina, in our breasts. So we have a couple different places where we get activated. And so this is the photo I want to show you. It's super fascinating. I need to share my screen again. Okay, so this is to the left. I want you to look at this, the homunculus, right? This is the sensory cortex, or also called the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve runs all the way through our body. It's like the central channel, if you know about energy, right? The energy is our central channel. Well, that's the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve goes all the way from the bottom of the spine, all the way up the spine, up in through the body. It's like, it kind of does an S inside of the body, and then it goes up to the brain. And then the clitoris, the cervix, the nipples, the vagina, and the penis, they all connect into this vagus nerve, into the sensory cortex. So we can, using the power of pleasure, literally retrain our brain. That is so cool. And inform our brain. Now, I'm just gonna, let's see, stop this. So here's some cool photos. Like, this is parts of the brain that light up when different parts of our genitals are stimulated. So you can see when the clitoris is stimulated, you get that little red patch. The vagina, there's a couple different parts of the brain. And I'm going to talk about that in just a moment, but then the nipples also. And I know that for me, my nipples get really turned on if they get sucked when I'm having sex. That is like full on, ready to orgasm. So I just thought that's so cool. I'll show you one more photo here. Body mapping on the brain. And can you imagine, like, a lot of the science on the vagina came out like in, like, you know, the 1950s, or, you know, no one knew this stuff until now. All right, I'm going to stop the share. All right. Let me just go to my notes. So the reason, didn't put it on. Un momento. Keep breathing. All right, so the science of pleasure. Where did it go? Okay, I can't find it. That's so funny. But I can't find it now when I need it. Okay, so what I know, I've listened to countless, talks. Eva Clay is really good. She gives some really good information on this connection between pleasure and the brain, and I love her stuff. So check out Eva Clay. And then Naomi Wolf, I think she just wrote a book. It's a couple years old. It's called Vagina, and she talks about this vagina brain connection. But I'm sorry, I feel I want to do this right. So let me see if I can find this. And just give me a moment, and maybe you can check back in with your vagina, your cervix. Breathing. Okay, super interesting. Now I don't know where it is. Okay. Fuck it. All right, so basically, this is what I can remember, is that when a woman is stimulated, right, our body begins to emit a pleasure cocktail of what they call nitrous oxide, of dopamine, and of oxytocin. Now, oxytocin is like the heart opening, like the connection drug of the body. Dopamine is like that, like, I don't give a fuck. It's like the confidence hormone, or the of the body, right? Dopamine. It's like, I don't give a fuck. It brings you confidence. And nitrous oxide is a chemical that's only created through breathing in the lungs. And when all of that goes up into your brain, it brings the woman into a safe place. Now, a woman only opens, this is why this is important. A woman only opens when she is feeling safe. Now, did you know that when you are stressed, or when you are coming from an urgent place or an anxiety place or any place like that, where you're like rushing or moving or stressing, your sex, your pleasure shuts down. Your pleasure response shuts all the way down. That is crazy. So can you imagine women, even yourself, walking around stressed out, worried? You have no access to your pleasure, right? You need that pleasure to begin to open. Now, have you ever touched your G-spot? If you know where your G-spot is, let me know here in the chat. Talk about the G-spot a little bit. So the G-spot is the perfect example of this like opening, right? Kat says yes, she knows where the G-spot is. Well, if you don't know where your G-spot is, everyone's G-spot is different, but it is in the same place. So if you stick your finger up inside of you, and it's like where your clitoris is, but on the inside of your vagina. And then so mine is right on the inside, like where my opening is, right up. It's very close to the opening of my vagina. But some of you, it's going to be like about a finger, at least a finger width up there, height up there. But if you play with it, at first when you stick your finger up there, it's kind of just like this like ridge, you know, where you just feel like this like bumpy ridge. But if you begin to massage it and stimulate it, she will begin to open like a flower. She'll get bigger and bigger and bigger, and she gets very swollen. And that's when you could have what they call squirting orgasms and have the amrita flowing and all of that. You know, the reason, there's a couple reasons other than the pleasure allows us to open when we feel safe, right? The opening is important for creation because when you aren't open, you can't have access to what wants to be birthed through you. Right? So like there's things that you think that you want. I think I want this. And then there's things that want to be birthed through you. Those are two different things. A lot of times what we think we want and what is best for us and what pussy knows we want are two different things. And I bring pussy in because pussy knows how she likes it and how she doesn't like it, right? And I imagine, and I know this is true for me, that pussy's trying to speak to you right now. And I want to start opening up some access to these conversations, the brain and the lower brain. So tell me what you're hearing. See, it's 12:37. Tell me what you're hearing in all of this. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay. So I'm just going to tell you a little quick story about my first opening. I was very numb in my turn on. I had absolutely no turn on. I didn't even have my first orgasm until I was maybe 26. Yeah, I was 26 years old. Before that, I just used sex to get validation, to feel good about myself, to feel beautiful. Like I really made it mean that I was pretty, and I didn't allow myself pleasure because I would be penetrated and I would just shut down. And what was happening was she was telling me no. My pussy was telling me no. But I wasn't using my voice to say no. Because there was a payoff that I was getting, right? It was my validation that I wasn't feeling good about myself. I wasn't connected to my power. And I finally met this guy. We ended up being in a 7-year relationship. And he was a sexual healer. And he started I mean, I got really lucky because he did sexual healing on me. He started massaging me. He started like, you know, working with my emotions, letting me get into my body. And I think it was like maybe after like 3 months, and he took it really slow. And what I realized is I had like some serious trust issues with allowing myself to experience pleasure. And I can remember the day that, you know, he had me on the table and he was like having me open, having me open, having me open. And I started to feel the energy move. I started to feel it move throughout my whole body. And it wasn't like a clitoral orgasm. It was like full body orgasm, moving up and moving down, moving up. And I was opening and opening. And all of a sudden this ecstasy came. Ecstatic energy started coming through, and it started clearing my body, my energy system. And I cried so hard. And sometimes when I have a really good orgasm, I still cry, just will let go. And that's okay, because what I discovered is that a lot of us are like that. We're shutting down what we know. What we know is true in our bodies. We say yes when we really mean no. I mean, yeah, we say yes when we really mean no, and we don't honor what our body is telling us. Okay, let's hear from Kat. So Kat says, I'm hearing that my stress response keep me closed off as the central nerve of pleasure runs through my entire body. Being uptight and stressed shuts off pleasure in all areas of my life. Yep, that is true. That's why a big part of this course is removing the sense of urgency out of our lives, out of our projects, out of the things we want to create, and opening up the pleasure channel. Beautiful. Okay, so let's see, is there anything else that wants to come through? Okay, so, you know, that story was back when I was about 26 years old, and I'm 38 now. And that journey of opening myself up sexually, I feel like my whole life has really been dedicating to like opening up through pussy and sexual liberation and being connected to women and like finding the joy and being in a sisterhood. It's all connected. It's all right there. And so here I am now speaking about it. Now, there's different voices that you will find, different layers that you will find that your pussy has. There's, you know, your pussy hole, and there's like the gatekeeper. And the gatekeeper is like the old crone. I mean, for me, she's the old crone. There's archetypes, right? So I want you to get in tune with your pussy archetypes. There's the old crone. There's a little girl, you know, who wants to be loved and held. And then there's like the badass. The one who's like, yes, use me, penetrate me. Oh, yes. And I'm sure there's more. But I know for me, when I first started getting in touch with my pussy, the archetype that came out was the bitter old crone. And she started to speak, and she was pissed. She was pissed at how I treated myself. She was pissed at how I shut myself off. She was pissed that I didn't listen to myself. And so what I did was I just started journaling and started writing and journaling and writing and journaling and letting that voice flow through me. And so there's a couple things in this week's, let's see. I want to take a couple moments. If you have your journals, or if you want to chat it into, put it into the chat box, I want to just do a little bit of journaling around the voice of your pussy. Okay, so get out your journal. And I'm gonna start, and we'll do it for 2 minutes. So just whatever wants to come through, come through. I'm starting to wrap it up. All right. All right, good. So that is the channel that we want to open up. In this program, that's one of the only voices that matters, is that connection to yourself and to your pussy. And getting underneath the layers and really feeling into what she wants and needs and listening to that part of yourself. Getting connected to your pleasure. All right, I'm curious, who would like to I see Elliot's here and Kat's here and Sarah's here and Siobhan's here. And Kat and Elliot and Sarah, you are already in Descend. Would you like to say hi? If you'd like to say hi, go ahead and raise your hand. I need at least one person to say hi, because here's the deal. You got to see yourself. You got to see these women and connect with these women, because these women are going to be your anchor as we move into this program, which actually we start on September 11th. So September 11th, which is in about 3 weeks, we'll start. So I'd love to hear from someone. Kat, Elliot, Sarah. All right, Elliot, I'm gonna have you come on, and then I'll have, let's see, I'm gonna promote you to panelist. Hi, Elliot. All right, I'm gonna have Sarah jump on as a panelist too.
Hi.
Hey. All right, I'm gonna turn on
Hey.
There we go. All right. Hi. Look at these
Hello.
faces. Thank you for coming on. And just Elliot, we'll start with you. Will you share with us maybe why you're here or how'd you decide to join?
Sure. So I completed the Sacred Badass program for the first round in May, and then manifested a release from my full-time job at the end of June. So, woo! And I'm really excited about it, actually, which is very indicative of the progress I made in Sacred Badass, to be like not stressing out, freaking out, being super upset. And so when I heard about Descend and really getting in touch with my voice and the pussy power, like it really connected with me in this time frame, especially having worked with you in the past and really thinking about what I want to be doing in the world and how the job that I had was serving like a couple of needs, but not all of them, not by a long shot, and I was ready to do more. So the exact format of what I want to do with my organization, the Unicorn Scouts, is like the thing that I'm like really listening to right now, and wanting to bring that further into my local community, actually, is the thing that I really want to do. So I've like traveled all over the country doing it, but I haven't done it in my hometown.
Okay.
So,
can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Okay, what did Pussy have to say?
Well, Pussy had said to me, and I'll just read what I wrote. It was like, "Hey, girlfriend, I'm down here ready to rock and roll. What are you waiting for? You know what's up, and you keep shutting it down. You don't need anybody else to make you feel good, and you can get whatever you want. So what is that? Come on, girl, get that secret orgasm and enjoy this time." So
yes, okay.
That's what I heard.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Thank you, and thank you for being
Thank
willing
you.
to come on. I know I didn't ask you. I just threw you in, which I am an instigator of pushing you off the cliff.
That's cool. I knew what I was getting into.
Awesome. All right, let's talk to you, Sarah. Come say hi.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Sarah. I live in San Francisco. I am excited to be a part of this. I just completed Leah Rose's Earth Woman 2 program, which is learning how to facilitate women's circles and just focusing on women's leadership. So, you know, I've been in a major job transition. Actually, when I signed up for Earth Women 2, I lost my job. I got a release from my job as well. And so it's been a really, really wild ride for the last 6 months. And so I'm at the point now where in September, I'm going to really need to get serious about what I'm manifesting next. And I've just been spending a lot of time with, I have a luxury of time, which is good, but like just spending a lot of time really focusing on what I want next and how I want to be. So that's been interesting to realizing that I don't want to be doing what I was doing. I was a personal assistant for a wealthy family in the city, and that was killing my soul. So I definitely want to be focusing more on women's leadership and coaching and serving others, but in a way that's not serving them as their personal assistant, serving them in the way for the greater good and creating transformation and change and positive beauty and manifestation. So that's what I want next. It's going to be, you know, I'm going through major transition right now, and it's been a wild ride. It's been scary as hell. I think right now it's interesting. It's been helpful to hear all this because I've been in that urgency. Oh my God, time is running out mode, and I'm about to prepare. You know, I'm going to Burning Man in 4 days, so it's like I'm taskmaster. I'm just been full steam ahead, and I've been stressed out, and it's been a really good just reminder of like, oh yeah, to create, you have to drop in and feel your body and your pussy. And so that for me has been a really good reminder of like, oh yeah, like I can do. I'm really good at taskmaster and doing. And where the real manifestation and creation comes in is really dropping in and feeling that, dropping in, dropping down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's been interesting. That was the reflection I had when I was journaling. I'm like, oh yeah, this is why you've been stressed out and not very happy. Oh yeah, you've been going in full steam ahead and I haven't been giving myself any time to like relax. So, you know, from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. So that's been interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, even, and here's the thing, you don't have to, once you get good at this, it's really just about tuning into your body and being in touch with your body. You can still do
Yeah.
the things. It's just that when you're disconnected and you're in that, like, that stressed out mode, when it really just, it hurts you.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I've been disconnected. And so it's a reflection that I need to be more connected, even if I'm doing those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for coming on. And so let's see. I'll just stay on and we're going to start to wrap this up. So our official Descend starts on September 11th. It's going to be run more in this format, like where you will see the women. It won't just be me speaking on a screen. We're going to be together. You will be with women all over the world. Some of these women you will know, some of these women you won't know. And you'll all be taking on something that you want to bring into this world. And then we're going to be using the distinctions of feminine leadership and feminine creation to do that, which means you will be creating structure and you will be flowing in the structure. So I use feminine leadership, but you need the masculine too. You really do need to do things. Like, you can't sit around eating bonbons all day and expect your life to work the way that you want it to. It's just not going to happen. But it's just when we get wrapped up in the doing first that we start to, you know, lose our creativity and lose that sense of ourselves. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of an accelerator. We're slowing down to really speed back up. Slowing down to speed back up. And you can still sign up. So there's room for you in this container. You can sign up. There is Kat, will you please post the link in the Facebook page for those of you who are watching on Facebook? And your homework, let's get into your homework. Okay, so your homework is, I want you to have 3 different conversations with Pussy in the next 3 weeks. So that's like pretty much once a week. And it's not on anything specific. Like, let her guide the conversation. If you were just to get out of your own way and let her really guide the conversation. And it could be like, there's different ways that you could write about it. You could speak into it, into like a, you know, voice memo. You can dance, allow her to dance you through, but get connected to your pussy and how she wants you to converse with her, get in touch with her. And then we're going to have some journaling prompts that are in the Thinkific. For those of you that are all signed up on Thinkific, there's journaling prompts, and there's going to be some article resources that you can read about the science that I was talking about, and really get in touch with like what it's like to work from pleasure. So also, there's this very important line. It's, what do you think you want? And what actually wants to be birthed through you? What do you think you want? And what actually wants to be birthed through you? I want you to just be with that question, answer the question as many times as you can, but getting into that opening. And then bonus points, we're going to do this a little bit. We'll be doing this throughout the program, is self-pleasure yourself. Self-pleasure while thinking about this question and see what happens. So that's the bonus. And then let me know what happens. All right, so we're coming to 1 o'clock. I want to thank you for being here and joining in Descend. I'm so excited to have you and feel you. And I'll see you on September 11th. I'll talk to you later. Bye.